It's a new year and a new chance for you to make a fresh start with your compliance. For the next 31 days on the FCPA Compliance Report, we're going to be bringing you a daily tip, strategy, or idea that you can use to improve your program. Here's your host, Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist.
This month's sponsor of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program is Affiliated Monitors. Founded in 2004, Affiliated Monitors provides professional, independent integrity monitoring and ethics and compliance assessments nationally and internationally and across almost all industries. With its knowledge of effective ethics and compliance programs and cultures, Affiliated Monitors is respected for its work as the corporate monitor on matters ranging from multinational corporations to small and mid-sized companies and even individuals. Having served in over 750 monitorships, no one has more experience as an independent monitor than the team at Affiliated Monitors. For more information on how an independent monitor can help improve your company's ethics and compliance program, visit this month's sponsor, Affiliated Monitors, at www.affiliatedmonitors.com. This is Tom Fox. In our prior section, we took a deep dive into several different types of audit that can be used for continuous improvement. In this next section of this month's entry into 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program, we're going to take a look at monitoring as a tool for continuous improvement. We begin with the day's offering, monitoring for continuous improvement. Another mechanism for continuous improvement of your compliance program is risk-based monitoring. Under the topic of control testing in the Department of Justice's 2019 guidance, it posed the following questions. Has the company reviewed and audited its compliance program in the area relating to misconduct? More generally, what testing of controls, collections, and analysis of compliance data and interviews of employees and third parties does the company undertake? And how are the results reported and action items tracked? I visited with Ben Locwin to consider risk-based monitoring and how it helps to facilitate continuous improvement in a compliance program. He noted that risk-based monitoring is really about continuous, ongoing monitoring for those things which provide the most potential future risk to you. In other words, instead of a static risk registry that may come in part with forecasting, where you say, we are trying to anticipate these risks, by using risk-based monitoring to review issues on an ongoing basis, the models that are behind risk-based modeling, risk-based monitoring models, they're continuously refined based on incoming data. The problem for many companies is that they are siloed not only in their data but also in their systems. This is partly because of disparity in data systems. The data may not be tracked rigorously, quantified information, or other deficiencies. He cited to the example of the pharmaceutical world where a company could well have 50 worldwide sites where a drug product is tested. Some patients receive a placebo and some patients receive the medication being tested. As data comes in, you begin to note patterns in certain patients and groups which might point towards a variety of testing errors by physicians administering the test. With risk-based monitoring, you begin to see things in almost real-time, time-based trends of real data that you can then jump on and try to make adjustments before things get really wacky. The implication to the compliance practitioner? Having access to information around the sales process, corporate largesse, in things from corporate social responsibility work to gifts, travel, and entertainment to conferences for customers and end users allows you to see a much fuller, richer picture. Using such risk-based monitoring for a compliance professional would have the opportunity to see trends developing which would allow for an intervention for a prescriptive solution which could prevent the issue from becoming an FCPA violation. Locwin cautioned that compliance professionals should guard against bias. He noted that social media has rapidly accelerated the agility with which the public can change its allegiance and direction. It used to be that when information dissemination was slower and more compartmentalized within region and market segments, that the market resistance of fluctuation was more robust. Now, well-placed advertising, social commentary, or a public response to corporate missteps can swirl into a maelstrom of market changes within hours that is antagonistic to a region or a market segment. In today's world, the speed at which reputational damage rains out can overwhelm a company's ability to respond. Here one might consider Wells Fargo and how fast the situation spun out of control for this now discredited bank after its $185 million fine was announced. It is through using a risk-based monitoring, which allows for almost real-time input, that a response to forecasted, assessed, or even unassessed risks can be developed. In the compliance world, such tools could be brought to bear when considering not only the expense side of areas such as gifts, travel, and entertainment, but also the sales side of data. This could be an internal company data on its own sales force and information developed concerning your third-party sales team. In Locwin's primary world of pharmaceutical testing and product development, the need for such real-time information can be more critical. Yet through the development of these techniques as compliance tools, the compliance professional can add real value to an organization through the use of risk-based monitoring. With the plethora of data on where and how corruption is likely to occur, coupled with meaningful sales and expense data, the compliance professional should be able to move from detect to prevent to prescriptive compliance to prevent legal and compliance violations going forward. Finally, the beauty of all these techniques is that they are tools that can make companies more efficient and, at the end of the day, more profitable. They can also move compliance into the fabric and DNA of an organization, or more fully operationalize compliance. The intonation to operationalize compliance speaks to a wide variety of tools to input information so that you can continuously improve your compliance program. Risk-based monitoring is certainly one of the mechanisms to obtain information and feedback into your compliance program in both the prevent and detect prongs. So, what are today's 3 key takeaways? Number 1, how do you monitor manifested risks? 2, a risk-based monitoring approach allows you to see things in almost real time, a key component of a best practices compliance program. And 3, management of risk can serve your compliance program in a variety of ways. It can make business process much more efficient. It can certainly reduce your compliance and legal risks. And finally, at the end of the day, it can make you more profitable. This should be the goal of your compliance program. I hope you'll join us again tomorrow where we take up another topic in continuous improvement on 31 days to a more effective compliance program. As a call to action, I would ask that you tell one of your colleagues about this podcast series on the nuts and bolts of compliance, 31 days to a more effective compliance program, and this month's topic of continuous monitoring. 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network, and this month's sponsor is Affiliated Monitors. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow for another episode in 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program.